Bonjour! Today I'll be making the famous francophone dessert beignet, and I will start the batter right now. So first you're beating the batter for beignets, which are commonly enjoyed as a dessert in New Orleans. They're especially from Café du Monde. They're usually enjoyed with café du lait, which is basically just a café avec a lot of milk. But there are many variations of the dough. Some have pâte de choux, others have more modern batters, but I will show you the pâte de choux dough. So we'll get it started with a cup of water, which I already have in here, 1 stick of unsalted butter, which you have to cut up into pieces, but I did not do that yet, so allow me to just gracefully just get in there. Yeah, now a pinch of granulated salt, and then 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. Another tablespoon. If you hear any faint panting, that's my dog. It's not me. It's just one of the many joys of living in a car house. There's always something going on. Okay, so now we will whisk that together. Then we need 1 cup of flour, and after this I will have to add 4 large eggs, but you have to add them one at a time, and whisk after every turn. And I'm making beignets, but I can't fry them because, believe it or not, last time someone tried to fry something in my house, Madam Zipper, you know James. He's a culinary expert because last time that he tried to fry something, he almost set the house on fire. So, I'm going to admire my beignet batter from afar and not actually, you know, make it. But who knows? Okay, while I get the eggs in, I'm just gonna put in a small history about beignets. So, and French desserts. So, the word beignet comes from the Celtic word being, which means to raise, and which is funny because it's a French dish and it comes from a Celtic word. But beignets were brought to New Orleans in the 18th century by French colonists, which is natural, but and beignets are usually enjoyed with a lot of different dishes. It's not just, I mean, you can have them plain like a zeppeli, or you can put jam on them, which is something that I've never really heard before, but you know. Okay, so now we have 4 large eggs, and actually I'm going to see if I have any oil. So, just me over in the corner. Actually, I'm gonna try my hand at frying them and maybe not kill everyone in the making, but it's fine. Now, so I'm going to actually just bring you guys with me as I attempt this. This is a very homemade presentation. I've never done anything like this before, and we're already at 5 minutes. Wow, okay, that wasn't my plan, but give me a second. Okay. So you need canola oil for frying, and I have my little pot. I'm gonna move the paper because I don't need any more fryers in my house because I don't feel like getting disowned before college. Okay, so while I get this coming to a boil, now I'm taking almond oil for frying. You can use any type of oil, but it's usually canola, but at the moment I don't have canola oil, and I thought the vegetable oil that I had in the closet might not taste too good with pâte à choux, but you know, you live and you learn. Okay, so I'm going to let myself put a thermometer into the oil. Oh my god. Where did this just go? Here it is. I'm putting a... Alright, so as I get my batter, things are falling everywhere. As I'm getting my batter, I will just kind of talk about French desserts and not as much beignets, because beignets are francophone and they're from France, but I think talking about French desserts and how really moldable they are to French culture and how much influence they have on history matters. So the French dessert, the word for dessert comes from desservir, or to clear the table. And the French have been perfecting desserts since about the 17th century and the Middle Ages, which is funny because when the Middle Ages were happening, a lot of different culinary experiments were going on. Not as much experiments, but people were kind of discovering new sauces to make and kind of engineering different ways to change foods into being what they are now and how famous they are now. And so, the most famous, the most influential chef in history in France is probably Antoine Carême. He worked in an orphanage because he was an orphan, but he worked in the kitchen because he needed room and board and food, and they paid him for working in the kitchen. And when people realized how talented he was, eventually he went on to be mentored by Sylvain Barry, and then he became one of the most revolutionary culinary artists in the world. So I have the oil now is a little more toasty than it was before. I'm gonna move my paper because I don't need that catching on fire. So, yay! So, Emma's baking. Emma never bakes, to be honest. These are going to be very small beignets, mostly because I'm terrified of setting things on fire. But, so, alright, now as we're waiting for the pâte à choux to be, it smells really good. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, so, yeah, so I think these will just take a little bit to fry on both sides. I'll make a few and I'll show you the end results if I have confectioner sugar, which I believe I do because we always have confectioner sugar. But French desserts are kind of enjoyed, I mean, universally now because they're so popular with eclairs and gâteau de roi, I mean king cake, and all these different francophone celebrations and French celebrations, and eclairs and macaroons. I mean, they're French, but they're universal at this point. And of course, they're enjoyed more than just at breakfast, which is curious that I found that out. And I did not know that French desserts were kind of enjoyed at every point in the day. They have different things in the morning that they make. They have different things during the night that they make. It's a really innovative kind of thing, which is pretty cool of the French to do. Actually, look at my little beignets! Oh my god, paper, oh my god, okay. They getting crispy, but hold on. I'm gonna put out a paper for them to, oh that's loud. Put out a little paper for them to soak on. They get ready. Madam Cipher, I apologize if this presentation is inhumanly long, but I just got so much information in such a small amount of time. Okay, so I'm gonna get confectioner sugar and then I'll show you the ending result of the beignets. Oh boy. And now you've all maybe been waiting for little beignets. They're a little unconventional looking because they look like starfish, but yeah, French desserts are intricate, but they're easy to make, and I would definitely try it, and I hope you learned a lot about the culture and the history of French desserts. I'm sorry that this is 14 minutes. Bye!